Wow.
Welcome to DogStar.
Each week we sit down with a star of hip-hop and R&B, and this week we have JuneThaKid sitting down with us. How are you feeling?
Yo, what's going on? I'm feeling good, man. I'm happy to be here. Excited.
We're happy to have you. Thank you so much for coming through. We know you're busy.
Oh, don't you
especially
on,
with
you know
this new project just dropping. It's
Yes, sir.
I'm sure we're still riding the wave of that.
Yes, sir. I'm excited. Songs to Live By out now.
Songs to Live By out now, but we want to jump in the history all the way back to the very beginning.
Rewind.
Let's go, man. Let's get it.
So, born where?
Here in
Minneapolis,
Minnesota?
Southside.
Hey,
Southside.
okay.
And who was picking out the music when you were growing up as a kid?
Yeah, man. So when I was growing up, I basically listened to a lot of what my brother was a huge hip hop head. He had like a huge CD collection, all types of like memorabilia, and I would basically sit in his room while he'd be playing the game, he'd be blasting his music, and I was just soaking it up. So whatever he was listening to was what I was listening to. A lot of like his favorite rapper is Tupac.
Nice.
So a ton of Tupac, a lot of 50 Cent,
Wow.
Lil Wayne, Kanye, he was in a lot of that stuff. Jeezy was in heavy rotation. I remember when like the Snowman shirts and stuff came out. That was a huge thing. And yeah.
And did he write? Was your brother an MC at any point in time?
So this specific brother, Blake, he was not an artist himself. But my other brother, Rob, he was a rapper. He made his own music. Him and his homie Trent, they went by TNR Productions. They had like a few projects they put out. They would do performances. They had a few music videos. I remember when I was a kid, I had like one of their shirts. It said like TNR Productions, and it was like a little cartoon with like half his face, half the other guy's face, and it was like cut the check. So yeah, they were definitely into music.
Did you have musical parents then? If you're both you and your brother?
My pops played the drums. He played the drums in a band with his brother before I was born. Once I was born, he had to stop. You know what I mean? And take care of me. That's usually. I feel like that's like the musician story.
Yeah,
like in the century. But yeah, he was he played the instrument. My mom wasn't super into like creating in that aspect of music, but she listened to a ton of music. A lot of like. Jaheim and like neo soul stuff, Erykah Badu. She was playing a lot of that around the house growing up. So I feel like music in general was a big part of my household, whether it was like on the creative side or just like, just loving it.
Yeah. Did they encourage you to do any like music classes early on?
My mom got me in piano lessons when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I regret, man, because when you're a kid, man, you're impatient. You just want to have fun. Like you don't want to like sit and like learn a skill, especially a skill that wasn't like something that I was like into myself or looked at as cool.
Yeah. What
so
age
I just wanted to go
that?
play. This was all like before like pre-second, third grade.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like super young. I didn't keep going though because I told her like I didn't want to, because I told her it wasn't fun, so I didn't want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, now that I'm an artist, I wish I would have kept with it because it'd be so lit to be able to play the piano and like do something with that.
Definitely. Yeah. Any early inclinations that you were going to become a musician and an entertainer later on? Were you in plays or anything like that?
Nah, I wasn't really.
Choir at
I was
church?
super. I was in choir in high school, but
okay.
when I was a kid, like I was really just. I remember I used to usher. I would listen to. My mom was a huge Usher fan. She had all these CDs, and I would like play the songs and like perform and pretend like I was the one singing them, like with like the TV remote.
Yeah.
Using it like as a microphone.
Okay.
This was when I was a little kid, like probably like 8, 9 years old. I remember I would do like little remixes, like the song.
Right.
So it would be a song, and I would take like the same structure and like the same flow and cadence and everything, and just change the words with other stuff.
Nice.
Like,
How old
but nothing
were you
that
when
was
you were
serious.
doing that?
This was probably like maybe I was like 13, maybe.
Okay, a little bit older.
But again, like it wasn't nothing that was serious that I would like put out there and like put out into the world and like let people know I was doing. It was just
like
stuff
in front
I would
of the
do.
family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got to ask you this. Did you have an MC name when you were doing the remixes and doing the performing?
Nah, I didn't. I didn't have a name at all. Like back then, I wasn't even thinking like that far to people even hearing the stuff I was doing. Like it was really just for fun type of thing.
And yeah, you had mentioned your brother who had done music.
Yeah.
Who else was inspiring you in that formative age, in that early teens, even if it was rappers on the global scale? Like, who were you watching?
When I was a kid, 50 Cent was like one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Chingy, I listened to a ton when I was a kid. Soulja Boy just popped off, or when I was in like, I want to say like third grade maybe. So Soulja Boy was like all the rave. Lil Wayne, he was huge in the household. I'm trying to think who else I listened to. Biggie I got into as I got a little bit older. I remember when Notorious came out. I went and did like a huge deep dive and was listening to like all his stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Eminem I listened to a lot growing up. Yeah, I say those about Cassidy. Cassidy I listened to a lot growing up. Shout out Cassidy.
Yeah, just being heavily influenced, whether you knew it or not.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
And then we were, of course, like digging through the internet trying to find stuff.
Yeah.
Was there a first song before Nimbus? Was there songs before Nimbus that are just buried?
There's like, I think there's like 2 songs.
Oh no.
There's like 2 or 3 songs that were made prior to Nimbus.
And so when was that period of time?
This was when we first started. Like, so I remember when I first came home from school from college, and I first started like playing around with the music. This was probably like 2016 maybe.
Okay.
2016. I'm talking like these are some of like the first times I ever like recorded rapping into a microphone. So like me and the homies, we used to kick it in my homie Cliff's basement. That's why the basement gang name got started.
Oh.
It was like an inside joke. Like it wasn't something we took serious. That was just like the group meetup spot. So we would kick it and like drink and smoke in his basement and like just bull talk, have beats playing, like we freestyle. And so one of my friends at the time, his name was Sam. He was a producer. His name was Sick Boy, I think. He made beats, and there was a few other homies like Alex around who was rapping, but I wasn't really like rapping at all serious back then. So like, I remember Sam had brought his equipment over one day, and like we were just bullshitting. We set up like some mattresses in the corner, and we had like a little blue snowball mic, like the Blue Yeti, terrible for music, and we were using that to record on for the first time. So that's when the first song. I don't even know if those songs are still up, but yeah, there was like 2 of them. 2 or 3 of them. They were terrible though. They were horrible, horrible songs.
And were you JuneThaKid from the jump? Was that the name the whole time?
I don't even know what I went by. It might have just been like June. It might have been JuneThaKid. I remember like when I first like had a song where like I was gonna take it serious. JuneThaKid was the first thing I went by.
Wow.
But I don't know if it might have just been June.
And is JuneThaKid a nickname or just?
Nah, my pops, when I was growing up, he used to call me Junebug. And so my friend Johnny, he was another homie who was rapping before I was rapping. And I had a song that we had made that he was going to put out. And he was asking me, like, yo, what do you want me to put, like, your artist? Because I had no music out. So he was like, what do you want me to put, like, your artist name is? And I was just like, I don't know. Put JuneThaKid. And I just stuck with it since then.
Nice.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah. Early origins. What was the song you said that you were on before anything? Because we could probably find that song.
If you want us to.
I ain't even put the name of that one out. That joint is bad. That joint is bad. It's bad.
And I want to rewind just a little bit. Were you used to the stage through performing in choir in high school? Did you do solos?
Through sports, maybe?
Nah, I mean, like, through sports, but... in terms of like performing, like that aspect of it was nothing that was never something that I was like super keen on. Like outside of like, the few, because choir was an elective. So I mean like the few like little times you would have to sing like at like assembly or something. But like it was never something that I was seeking out, like going in like theater and acting and like being on stage and nothing.
Or you're the center of the
Exactly,
time, right?
yeah. Like the first time I ever was in a situation like that where it was like me being the center, like the attention and the performance standpoint was that first open mic at Urban Lights.
Whoa.
But before that, I mean, like I would go to a lot of shows and like watch other people, but me being like on stage was super foreign to me. I even like public speaking. I hated doing that, like when I was in school and stuff.
Interesting. That's amazing. Just again, your stage presence is so immaculate. It's hard to believe.
I'm trying.
Yeah, wouldn't have guessed. But yeah, so Urban Lights, open mic, the Vlad G.
Yes, sir.
AKA
shout out
Kobe.
Vlad, aka Kobe.
Yeah,
Tim. Shout out Tim.
Yes,
that was sweet. What songs were out at that point? Like, how many songs had you dropped before you went there? Or was this pre any songs?
This was pre. So, like I said, those other than like those literal like those first few like tester songs, like just learning how to be on a mic. That was the first time I performed like my music in a serious sense in front of anybody. Like I didn't have any music out. I had no music out that I was like publicly like telling people this is my music. Like the songs that y'all are probably talking about, I didn't even know those were still up, but those are just little stuff that we recorded and put up back then. So going into like that standpoint, like when I was going in there, like for the first time, I had no like serious music out. Nimbus was a song that I had just made like a week before that.
Cool.
Cause me, Quasi, and Sekou, you know, we would like kick it in his crib, and he was learning how to produce and mix and stuff. So like as he was learning how to produce and mix, he would kind of just use his stuff to experiment on us. And we were like be like his test subjects so he could learn, you know what I mean? So like he would make beats, we'd freestyle over him. And then like eventually when he started learning how to produce and mix, or not produce, but mix and master his own music, we would start recording the freestyles so he could use our vocals to like practice on. Yeah. And so that's how like a lot of our first like music came out. Nimbus was a song that I had written like a few weeks before the open mic started that I went to, and I recorded just to like finally start trying to make music by myself. Because before then, like all the music I made was with Sekou. Like Sekou would write the hooks, and I'd just come in and like do a little verse. Because Sekou was rapping longer than I was. He was rapping way before me.
Yeah, how'd you link up with him?
Sekou I've known since middle school. I've known since we were I've known Sekou since we were like, I don't know, 12. Wow. Something like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a long time. That's like my brother at this point. But yeah, he was rapping first. And so like that's kind of how I got to start rapping. I would just copy Sekou and just kind of go from there and like try to like put my own style on it, which is hilarious now because we rap like way different now. Yeah. But
how did you prepare for that first Urban Lights open mic?
I did really. I kind of just like I made the song. I practiced it a bunch. I was like performing with like the concept of doing it without backtrap was foreign me at that point. So I just would play the song and kind of rap it to myself. I knew the lyrics, you know what I mean? Because I had listened to it a million times. But it was just like, I don't really know how this is going to be like when I'm standing up here and all these people are staring at me. So I'm just going to try to just like, look at the ground, rap through it and get through it. It worked. You know what I'm saying? People I mean, they invested with it.
And you didn't get so much anxiety where you couldn't return to the stage. It was a rush.
I was nervous. I was super nervous. Super nervous when I was going in there. Because I was like, from my perspective, I'm like, I'm walking in here to perform with a bunch of real artists who really do this. Like, it's a complete, like, beginner, novice, outsider. And I'm like, man, what if I go here and do this and just completely bomb? And, like, everybody hates me and they clown me. And, like,
totally.
But, I don't know, something just told me, like, because at this point, it had been like a few years of us just making these songs for fun and not really taking it serious and doing nothing with it.
Really?
And so Vlad is like, yo, like, I listen to y'all, I hear y'all music and it's dope. And I know other artists and I be around other artists. So like, I'm telling you, like, just come do it. Like, I wouldn't be telling you to come do this if I didn't think people would like your music. And so one day I was just like, you know what, let me just take them up on it and go do it. And it was best decision I made so far in my life, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, been nonstop ever since.
Yeah, ever since then, we just been keeping our foot on the gas.
That's wild. I mean, the Nimbus, that had a music video? So his first song had a music video?
Nah. So at this point, when I go performing at the open mic, I don't have any of this music out. I don't even have an artist page.
Oh, right.
So people are asking me, like, yo, where can I follow you? And I have, like, my personal private page. So, like, I got to, like, accept their requests and stuff. So that night, I went home. I made the JuneThaKid, like I made like my artist page. I started following the few people who I met that night.
Same night as the open mic.
Yeah, this is the same night.
Oh my gosh.
I think like me and Quasi like linked and like, did a final tweaks of like the mix on the song, and then like I uploaded it to like SoundCloud, and like I had to pay for distro. Cause again, like I was brand new. So like I'm researching this, like how do I get my music on like streaming services and stuff. I look on distro, find out about that, pay for that, I upload it. And this is before I knew like there's a delay from when you upload it to your distributor versus when it actually is available. So I uploaded it like for the next day thinking like it was just gonna be out, and it came out like a week and a half later.
Oh my
so I keep telling people like, yo, Nimbus is coming out eventually on this day.
And everyone's like, yeah, I'm sure.
Right. But yeah, that was the first song we put out. Wow. I think I made Southside June like a few days after that, because at this point, I didn't have any incentive to make a bunch of music, you know what I mean? Like, it was just something we were doing for fun. But like, when I saw people like that, I'm like, well, I need something to follow this up. So that's when I started working on Rhonda Son.
Yeah.
I think I made Southside June.
Dropped it before the project came out.
Yeah, dropped that, or that was another single that we put out before I started working on Crickets. I didn't shoot like a video or nothing for Nimbus until like way later after the project was out and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because Rhonda Son dropped in September of 21, and then, the video didn't come out until November.
Right, yeah. Okay, now I remember correctly.
But that was, that's wild. So you knew from that, because that Nimbus song did pretty good. I mean, like, numbers-wise, I don't know how to,
It was just one, I don't know, man. It was one of those things where, like, sometimes you just take a leap of faith in something and it just, I joke about it with the homies all the time, but I'm like, I don't know. So when you're doing something and it's like scary and it's like new and it's like a risk, but like everything keeps working, it almost starts to feel like, I don't really have a reason not to keep trying and like elevating and pushing further and doing more than what I'm doing. It's almost like keep going until something tells you definitively not to. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that's kind of the mentality I had. Like when I put the music out and people were messing with it so heavy and like so many people were coming up to me wanting to work and people were just liking the music in general. I was putting more music out there, resonating with that. I put the project out there like that. It was like, well, at this point, it's like I might as well just go full-fledged and try to like really push and promote it as much as I could. And so doing the video was just the next logical step I had for that.
That's sweet. And that was with AKA Kobe.
That was with Kobe.
Yes.
Shout out Kobe.
The guy who hosted your very first open mic.
Yeah.
So it's like boom, boom, connections instantly.
That's the thing, yeah. Like it almost felt like it was just destined to work out. Cause like I had already known Kobe through Vlad just outside of, again, like I wasn't in the music scene, but I knew Kobe because I was friends with Vlad. And Vlad and Kobe have been friends forever. So like I had heard Kobe's music and stuff and been around him and watched him like when he first put out, I think Free 99 was like his first project. Whatever one had like Street Major on it.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of like was blessed to like when I wanted to start taking the music serious myself, I had people around who could point me in the right direction and be like, hey, do this. Or like, try this, you know what I mean? Putting it out this way or do this, you know what I mean? So it definitely was a blessing because it would have been so much harder if I was trying to just figure every single thing out by myself and just had nobody to even ask questions to and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's huge. We'll definitely be getting advice from you for people who might not have that network, but we do got to take a break in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow JuneThaKid at JuneThaKid.
JuneThaKid.
You're talking that was the same night. Boom, go to brand it. You get everything. JuneThaKid.
Nah, it's funny enough. I didn't. I got JuneThaKid was taken at the time. I had to have JuneThaKid 612.
So you worked it down.
It was like a year and some change into doing it where I checked again to try to change it back to JuneThaKid, and whoever had it changed their username so it was available. I was so happy.
We'll be right back with more JuneThaKid here on DogStar.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We're here sitting down with JuneThaKid.
Yes, sir.
Working our way through the timeline and the fanning of the flame that occurred after that first open mic performance.
Yep.
So, yeah, you put out the 2 singles, which then became part of the project, Rhonda Son. Quasi Uno doing the production on most of that because you guys are a basement gang. But then Ivory, I don't know how we pronounce it. If it's Ivory DJ, that's
Ivory
crazy.
DJ, yeah.
That's crazy. Shano. Quasi Uno, Ace P early on. Sticks early on, so that's huge. And then working with some big artists right off the bat as well for the features, like K-Tones, Mac Doll, King Swank's on Rhonda Son from the very beginning. That's awesome.
King Swank is on I think he's on Running.
Oh,
Running. He's on a few tracks. He didn't make Rhonda Son though.
Oh, I think
Rhonda Son was just me, Sekou, and Juice.
What? What's going on with you know the deal? K-Tones, Mac Doll, and Total Package, King Swank, Sekou.
Yep. Yeah, Total Package is me, King Swank, and Sekou.
Oh man.
And then we also did Running, me, Barry, and King Swank.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Running. Yep. That's cool
yes,
though.
Sir.
Knocking them out. And that's a big juicy project.
Yeah. I was just, man, when we first started, I was just excited. I was trying to take every opportunity that I could just to get my name out there and just stay in front of people. You know what I mean? Just trying to, especially like going to that open mic introduced me to a lot of dope people, like you were saying, like King Swank and Mado and all these people. So it was really like, while I got this momentum and while people are rocking with the music, like, let me just hit the ground running and try to put out as much work as I could.
Wow.
That's awesome. And then was that all recorded at like the basement of Basement Gang? Or you guys...
Yeah, pretty much. All of that early music we were just making in at Quasi's crib in his home studio.
That's awesome. Yeah, very nice having that connection early on too, because it's like...
Yeah, it just everything made sense. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of just naturally fit together.
What advice would you give some of these up-and-coming artists who maybe are more introverted, maybe aren't ready to get on the stage yet, but that's the next step?
Yeah, I would say just take that first step. Well, first off, you know, start at an open mic. I preach a lot. Open mics are like the perfect for this exact thing. Like when you're just a newcomer, you're trying to like take your first steps and get out there for the first time. Go to open mic. You know what I mean? That gives you time to have mic time so you can actually get that experience under your belt so you can improve at that and get that on that stage. Because I feel like stage presence is one of those things that can immediately like make you stand out from a lot of other people, even if you haven't been doing it as long. Because one thing I've learned making music, just meeting a lot of artists, there are a lot of artists who like make a ton of music but have never performed in front of people before. So if you can perform well in front of people, even if you might not have as much music, that in itself can get you a lot of looks.
It's valuable.
And get you in a lot of spaces earlier than it would be, you know, if it was vice versa.
Totally, yeah. You could, got to put in the work to the stage performance because that'll pay off maybe sooner than just building a catalog.
Right, exactly. Because, I mean, you might not have a ton of music out, right? But let's say you have a few songs out and you go perform and somebody who throws shows sees you do like kill a crowd like that, they will want to put you on the show. And like that's a lot of opportunities I've gotten like in that exact way. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. I hope people learn from that example that you're a good blueprint for
sure.
people to come. It's interesting that you can look back on the career now and it's like a path for people to take. Like people can look to your story.
I definitely feel like it's a very repeatable, you know what I mean, like strategy and process for sure.
That's awesome. And so then the Basement tape comes out. I guess that's jumping ahead a little bit. So that's 2023. So you're performing pretty much all 2021, 2022.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then, Basement Tape comes out, which is a big, huge project. I learned that it was produced all by Quasi and then mixed and mastered by Sticks.
Yep.
Like, that's such a deadly combo. Like, that's such like an awesome rap fact to know. That's like learning that the Neptunes produced something. It's like,
facts.
Oh, whoa. Like,
shout out Quasi and Sticks, man. Shout out Sticks.
Yeah, epic project. And that's with Basement Gang, obviously. You're on every track of that project?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. So the Basement Tape, it's on your SoundCloud and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's on that was the first project that we all worked on together.
Yeah.
All the songs, me and Sekou on all of them, we got Righteous and Krayshawn, I believe, on 2 tracks each. Some of it we had started working on like prior to everybody joining together and like making it all one conglomerate, which is why, you know, there was a few tracks that they weren't on. But yeah, we all made that in-house, you know what I mean? Just same thing. All the music organically is just coming from, that's how it's made. We're always at Quasi's home studio, kicking and vibing, and we just, you know, write together and come up from there. So,
do you think your writing style changed at all from like writing just like to make a song that sounds cool versus writing to perform in front of people?
Yeah, I think how the crowd is going to react to the things that I'm saying and like giving myself space to breathe, giving myself areas that like of the song that lend well for crowd interaction, like that's easy for them to remember immediately if they've never heard. Stuff like that was like nothing I was ever even taking into account when I first started rapping. But then like I said, once I started getting those first few performances under my belt and like watching other people too has been huge. Like I do so much just research of like, other artists, big and small, just seeing what they do, what works well for them, and like how I can incorporate elements that work best for them into what I do, but like my own way. And so like going out and doing that research and seeing how other people perform, how they structure their songs, you know, so they have moments to go back and forth with the crowd. I feel like that went a long way in making the music that I was making a lot more, not palatable, but easier to transition to a performance.
That's sweet.
That's fascinating. Yeah, kind of always a student to the world.
I feel like you gotta be, man, because, you know, music is super fast moving, you know what I mean? Like, I don't take none of this for granted. Like, even like with the success that I've been having and like people liking it, like you can be here today and gone tomorrow like that. You know what I mean? We've seen it happen a billion times. There's always some new person who's popping up in your lane, you know what I mean? So like you gotta make sure that you're always trying to improve, you know what I mean, and keep the iron sharp.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot, but what are you working on like currently as far as like improvement goes?
For me, like one of the big things that I've been working on is in the songs that I'm trying to, like, I feel like merging. A lot of my early music was like super personal, almost like I was using them just as like diary entries in a way, right? Like if that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like I went from that to then trying to like focus on and learn how to make like hooks and like bridges and like songs that would be earworms. You know what I mean? Like stuff that would get stuck in people's heads, stuff like Candy Paint.
Yes.
And like Mud. And now like I feel like Songs to Live By is a lot more rappier, but now I'm trying to, like, right now my big focus is bringing all those worlds together, you know, making a song like, you know, that can be personal and that can get a big feeling across and make you feel something that also is easily palatable and that somebody would also want to chant like at a show. That's what I'm trying to like figure out how to blend together all in the best way.
The perfect recipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm sure you've had tastes of each of those elements and like many of your songs performing it. But yeah, to get it all in one song,
that's
the
what,
perfect balance.
Yeah, exactly. My next project, like that's my big focus is like I want to try to bring all those worlds together like consistently throughout it.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean, crazy to hear that there's another project that you're even thinking about because, yeah, we've got Choosing came out as like the standalone. Or wait, I skipped a whole card. Ron Artest Freestyle, March 6, 2023.
Yeah.
Where are you finding these beats? If it's not Quasi making them, it's not Bushido Chop making them.
So that song is actually, that's a Babyface Ray song.
Oh, so that's the producer of the original.
Yeah, that's I think, I don't even remember what his name.
Garo
Beats or something. Yeah, that was I first heard that song. It was a snippet on TikTok that was going around.
Nice.
The Babyface Ray song, Ron Artest, before it actually got released like on platforms. And so like when I heard the beat immediately, I was just like, oh, this is fire. Like I got to do something over this. So yeah, that was just me like really just throwing something together, just having fun on that song. That was why I initially just went up on like YouTube and SoundCloud because it was just something I was just throwing out. I don't even know if like legally. Well, now Flo Milli has a song over the exact same beat, so I guess I don't know, but I assume that I wouldn't be able to even put something like that out on like platforms. But
I don't know exactly how it works, but definitely the right move to do it. On Spotify or on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
get it out there, get it out to the world, get it out of your head. You got another song to write. You know?
Yeah. Right. And this was around the time that I had finally gotten like my own home setup. You know what I mean? To like record. Yeah. So like I had finally gotten like my own home setup to where I was able to like lay demos and like just experiment and like just try different things before as opposed to having to go to the studio to do it. And so like that was one of the first songs that got made during that period. That and Yup.
Yeah.
Was another one that I made when I got my own like home setup. I'm trying to think what else. Bad Days was another one that I first started writing during that time. Yeah.
That's sick. And yeah, songs that are a little more outside the box and might not have came about if you weren't recording at your house or like were able to record that thought right away.
Exactly.
Could have lost to the ether. Yeah.
Right.
That's so cool. I'm gonna go back and listen to those tracks and
man, for sure.
Try to hear it's like, oh, is this more personal? Is this more experimental? Like,
yeah,
that's cool. Awesome to hear and awesome to hear it sharing. Do you still cut demos at the house?
I do. Yeah, a lot of times like I'll just record a demo and then send it out to somebody, to get mixed. But a lot of times, especially like when I'm working with people, most of the time is in person.
Mm-hmm.
So. And then, of course, like if it's anything basement game related, I'm just recording at Quasi's because that's what we operate out of. Same with Ace.
Right.
So it really depends. I feel like most of the time when I'm recording like a demo stuff is either me just experimenting or if I'm like sending like a verse to somebody who like I don't know in real life or like who doesn't live here. Like I just need to send a vocal off for them or like something like that.
June 2022 saw the release of, or June, excuse me, and then July of 2022 saw the release of both The Vent Part 2 and Total Package, excuse me.
Right. The Vent. Oh, that's
as
the same
a single.
One? Ace P back.
Wow.
Off.
And just not just continuing that pattern of write and release and write and release.
Yeah. This was like that first, when I first started, I was super, like exactly what you said, like putting singles out and trying to just grind it that way. I had heard a lot of that same thing too. So I was trying to like, after Rhonda Son come out, put out like as many singles as I could just to kind of stay in front of people. I think like in that time frame, like running 5 mics,
Know the Deal.
Total Package, Know the Deal. That's a lot of that stuff. The Vent got made. The Vent got made and it was like, it ended up going on Just Get Home Safe, but it was made like way ahead of a lot of the other music that was on Just Get Home Safe.
I mean, shows you the power of that song, shows you the timeless nature of that song.
Yeah. Shout out to Vent though. I think to this day that's like my biggest song. For sure. That was the first song that like kind of hit the algorithm and got a lot of play like outside of Minnesota.
Cool.
What cities were you surprised it was getting played in?
Atlanta, Texas.
Whoa.
Not Texas, but like Houston specifically. You got a lot of plays in like Houston.
Okay.
A lot of plays overseas in like the UK. A lot of plays in New York.
I mean, I can picture the Basement Gang taking Europe.
Hey, I'll try and get out there one of these days for sure.
How are you picking which songs to make videos for, or is it just like if you had it your way, they'd all have videos?
Man, that's a good question. I don't even know, dog. I hate shooting videos.
Because we got Nimbus, Candy Paint, Mud, and Forbes is the most recent video for sure.
So Nimbus was like, that was the standout. That was like the main song everyone knew from me, like from Rhonda Son. It was like the main single, so it made sense for me to get a video for that one.
Yeah.
Candy Paint, again, it was like one of that one was another single that was from Just Get Home Safe, but before Just Get Home Safe was announced. That was another song that I just really liked and was excited about. That's another one of my biggest songs, so like it made sense for me to shoot a video for that one. Mud, kind of same thing as Candy Paint. A lot of the songs that I shot videos to are songs that I feel like people would, I guess, were like the most catchy. Or like the most easily accessible songs that could get played in like multiple environments. So songs like Curtains, Candy Paint, Mud.
So like the most universal.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay. That's kind of like my strategy. Especially since like shooting videos is expensive. Like it still costs a lot of money. You know what I mean? So,
but what do you think the importance of having a music video is? I mean, I'm sure it's multifaceted. But
I think it's super important. It's a mixture, you know what I mean? Because nowadays, you can make a pretty strong argument that like content is a lot more important than music videos, but that's kind of like exactly what I mean. Because I feel like music videos are really good for like making people take the music that you have now more seriously. I guess is the best way to put it. Like you can put out a lot of content, right? And let's say like it's just like lip sync videos, like the songs. If people will like listen to them and like engage with them and like them. But I feel like when you take like the bigger step to like have a little bit more production put into making like a longer form like video content for the song, like a music video, to people who are like not in your existing fan base already, who this might be the first time they see you, I feel like it helps a lot to reel those type of people in. And then you can take the video and chop it up into content anyway. So it's kind of like you're investing into both at the same time.
Interesting. No, always phenomenal to get the artist's perspective and the visionary behind the music videos as well. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I assume, granted, bringing in some of these directors to execute it, but you having that vision, you know where you want to shoot, you know what you want to get.
Right. Yeah, that's at least been my experience. I feel like you gotta at the end of the day, like nobody else can create your vision better than you. You know what I mean? You like at the end of the day, you know exactly what you want from the video. So it's always good to have like be hands on in the creative process from that perspective.
Yeah, what advice might you have for somebody working with a videographer for the first time? Like, what should they have ready, or like,
Got about a minute left.
how do you communicate clearly with them?
I would say just try to lay out. I would give them as much detail as you can in terms of what you're planning, your ideas are for the video when you're first hitting them up, just so they can give you like the most realistic expectation of what they can accomplish towards that. So I would say that. I would say do a lot of planning in terms of like what type of shots you want. So you know, like I want to have like a shot like standing on this corner from this angle, like this scene. And I want to have another scene with me, like, I don't know, up on these stairs. Like just having those base ideas out the way before you even start the video can just make the process so much quicker. Because then like when you knock all your main shots out like that, most of the time, whoever is, you know, shooting the video for you will have their own ideas to kind of add to that when they see what you're doing. So it kind of just makes the whole process like a collaborative effort. That's how Forbes was made.
Nice.
We'll be right back with more June the Kid here on DogStar.
Bow wow. Bow wow.
Welcome back to DogStar.
We've got June the Kid sitting down with us, telling us all about the origins and like the early career, like just kind of keeping up with the pace of as people are interested with you, making sure to have something for them.
Right.
And just like boom, 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 like seizing every opportunity, it sounds like.
Trying to, really.
Yeah, collaborating with countless people, both in the Minnesota and outside of Minnesota. I want to talk about Just Get Home Safe.
Yes,
It's the
sir.
next big project that you solo dropped.
Yep.
And the origins of that, because after, again, the era of wanting to, you know, stay in front of people's face, stay in people's ears, what made you switch from single mode back to project mode?
I just realized for myself, like, dude, just making singles and dropping them and putting them out there, like, I just didn't have as much fun doing that, honestly. Like, me personally, I've always been a project person, even as a fan of music. Like, concept albums is, like, one of my favorite parts of hip-hop music, like, especially when they're well executed, you know what I mean? So I just felt like, and it made it easier for me to keep, like, a direction with the music I was making when I knew it was towards a overarching goal of a project with a theme and like, or at least a feeling I was trying to get across, as opposed to just making like, this is how I feel today. This is how I feel today. This is how I feel today. It was just more satisfying for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, knowing it's like, would this beat even fit on the project I'm working on versus just writing to every single beat.
Right.
That's cool.
And who's producing on that?
Just Get Home Safe is a slew of fun. I got Quasi's on Just Get Home Safe, HP Sticks.
Hey, okay.
It's a guy named Ashton McCrate, and then I think I'm missing one more Araxos.
Wow.
And Mazem Duval.
Right.
Mazem Duval, Araxos, and Ashton McCrate are from other states, and the rest of those folks you'd know. So,
oh my gosh!
I mean,
what a roster!
Yeah, the one I didn't recognize Ashton McCrate, and that's on the Ty Stick song. How did that song come about?
Ashton McCrate is from LA. I found that beat on YouTube.
Whoa!
Like literally, and it's funny because like that was one of the early songs we made where I was like, man, I was so excited. Like, yo, this is like the song we had the song in the summer, man.
Yeah.
As soon as we put the project out, I saw this other dude, I forgot his name, went viral with the same beat. Like the song has like millions of views now. And it immediately took all the gas out of it. I was like, I don't even want to like push that song anymore because I'm like, it's already boom.
Oh, what a blow.
See, that's one thing I want to get look to any artist. That is the downfall of YouTube beats for sure, is that exact scenario. Or unless like you want to buy the exclusive, you know, from like a YouTube producer, but that's usually gonna run you like $500. I would highly recommend, and you know, as opposed to going like the YouTube beat route, to just lock in with a producer in your community who you know. so y'all can build a sound together, as opposed to just, hodgepodge, grabbing be here, because then you run the risk of situations like that happening.
Right.
With that being said, how did your path cross with Ace P's path?
Ace was kind of working with people who were in the same circle as I was in. Like, he worked with Isaiah Doka first, and I heard that project. And then Sekou started actually working with Ace first. He had been over there a few times working on songs, and so he invited me over there just to kick it one day while they were in the studio, and I pulled up. And yeah, man, I just rocked with him since day one. Ace is just cool peoples, right? Everybody who know Ace, they know what I'm talking about. Like, Ace is just a cool dude. He's cool, good vibes to be around.
Yeah, great.
Super down to earth. I think that first time I went over there, they were working on Timeless.
Whoa.
It was initially just Sekou like on it, and he had asked me when I was there, like, yo, you want to hop on this, or you got a verse for it? And I was like, all right, bet. And that's how we made Timeless, and ever since then,
what?
I just been rocking with him ever since.
Oh, that's
right place, right time. I love that.
I think like a little bit after that, like he put out him and Juice were working on Don't Be Stupid.
Yes.
And so like I was around like that period, like when they put that out. And so I went to like the listening session. It kind of was like, yeah, Ace is that guy.
Yeah,
definitely.
Bearing witness to that magic.
For sure.
And yeah, very cool knowing that Timeless is another one of those touchstones along the career where it's like, this is where this like era started.
Yeah, that's exactly when all of that started. That was the first time. Timeless was like the first day I met Ace, for real, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be listening to it differently now that I know that.
Yeah, I mean, I bring this up because your most recent project is a collaborative project with Ace P, Songs to Live By.
Shout out Ace, man.
That came out just a few weeks ago.
I think it was April 12th. Yep, April 12th.
Oh my God. What can you tell us about the formation of that project?
Man, so Songs to Live By, we started working on after we had all linked up and started working on Things I Can't Speak About too, basically. Like the second project with all of us on it after the first one. And we had made a few songs. Like we made this track called Hall of Fame, which might come out. It's got like 8 rappers on it. It's crazy. It's like 8 minutes. It's super long.
That's my type of song.
Yeah, but it's like a huge posse cut. We made that. We were all in studio for. And then a few days after that, I linked with Ace and Nucky. And we made Forbes.
Oof.
Because initially we were gonna start working on a collab project between me and Ace, Nucky, and then myself, like the three of us.
Okay.
And so Forbes was one of the first tracks we made. But then after we made those two, we kind of just like everybody got caught up in their own stuff, and so like the songs were just sitting there, and then nobody was really doing anything with them for a long time.
What?
After Just Come Safe came out, I doubled back and started linking up with Ace again and working on new music. And then like I rediscovered Forbes and was like, yeah, we got to do something with this. We made, what is it called? The Game Winner with me, Nucky, Bushido. That was another track that we had made during that same period, like when we started working on Things I Can't Speak About too.
Whoa.
Cool.
And I was like, that was another one. And then we made $1 Million Music was made a little bit after that. When me and Juice were in the studio. Me, Juice, and I think Bryant from MSP Hip Hop.
Oh, cool.
He was there that day because he had got like a canvas made from like a photo he took of all of us at First Staff for the Things I Can't Speak About show that he was dropping off. And so he got to hear that as we were making that. That's really how it came together. We linked up after Just Get Home Safe came out, and we kind of just knocked out like the last 4 tracks. And then the 2 tracks that we had already made that I had already had hooks on and stuff, we just threw on there.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
I think Man in the Mirror, Rebel Interlude, Man in the Mirror, and one more, What You On, were made in the same day.
Whoa.
The same day. I link because it was kind of like a switch flip. Like I feel like for me, creativity kind of comes in like waves, and so like I'll go like months where like I'm just barely making anything and feeling like I hate everything I make, and then something will switch, and then for like 2 weeks, it's like everything I'm making is just gold. Whoa.
So it was one of those moments where like it was just the time was correct, and we made. Yeah, I remember that. I pulled off. I did Rebel Interlude. I made Man in the Mirror. Yeah, I had wrapped up, and Sekou and Bushido pulled up, and we did What You Want. That was all on the same day.
Oh my God.
The other 3 tracks, like I said, Forbes, Game Winner was another one I made a little bit after like that period when we were working on things I can't speak about too that just got left. So Game Winner, or not Game Winner, Main Event, Forbes, and Game Winner were made earlier. Than those last two were just made in one day.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's one I'm missing because there's 7 tracks, right? What am I missing?
Right. So we got Main Event, Forbes, $1 Million Music, Rebel Interlude, Game Winner, What You Want.
Yeah. So $1 Million Music, Rebel Interlude, What You Want, and Game Winner were all made within like a 2-week span. Those 3 of those were made like in the same day, and then $1 Million Music was like a week before that. Those other 3 were made like a few months before that.
Oh
and then
gosh.
we just kind of had them sitting and didn't come back to them.
That's awesome.
And
so we're about
2 of those tracks you had mentioned.
Yep.
Right.
Your representatives have sent over, and we're about to listen to. Let's
$1
dive into
Music
those.
and Forbes.
So
with the homie
Forbes
Nucky
again,
and
we
Juice.
mentioned is the most recent music video. You
Yep.
can watch that right now.
Yep.
What was the kind of the impetus of that? What was the inspiration for writing a song?
I don't know, man. There's something about the beat. The beat hit. Me and Nucky were kind of cycling through beats because Ace was like, trying to pick one out.
Mm-hmm.
And we had went over a few like harder, just like rappier ones. And there's something about that one when it hit, like it just had that vibe that was just infectious. You couldn't help to move to it. And I really wanted to do that one because I felt like on the surface, when people hear JuneThaKid, Nucky, Ace P, that they're gonna expect like some super boom bappy, just like rappy stuff.
Right.
And I felt like putting a song like that out was almost like a fake out. You know what I mean? Because it kind of switched up what people were expecting to hear from us. And so that was what really made us want to hit the ground running with that one.
That's nice.
And what about $1 Million Music? We've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds till we're listening.
Yeah,
to
$1 Million Music, that would, me and Juice, we were in the studio cycling through it. That beat came on and it was just so like, it was weird in a good way. Like it's so, but that's like the only way I could describe it, like bombastic and just like super over the top.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I heard it, like I just got like this blue carpet treatment, like super luxury rap Rick Ross vibe.
Hey.
And so that was exactly the vibe we hit it with. Like, let's just make the most just over the top luxurious sounding rap song we can.
And what's on the horizon? What's coming up this summer maybe?
This summer
You're
got
talking things I can't speak about too, like it was a thing. You
yeah,
said that twice. So
I
it's
probably
like,
should have said that.
That's
But yeah,
crazy.
things like let me not even mention that
Right,
no more.
yeah,
But yeah, I got more visuals
Okay.
from songs to live by coming.
Oh, that's dope.
Got one joint with what else I got coming? Shows coming. I don't want to announce anything.
I was gonna
too,
say,
'cause
I know you
everything
can't
right
reveal
now is like in a
everything.
super tentative planning state.
no,
So
that's cool.
yeah, more
we're-
on the way though. I got Basement Game music coming. We got music coming.
Gosh. Don't
Always.
stop what you're doing. We can't thank you enough for sitting down with us.
Oh, of course.
I'm sure you're getting back in the laboratory right after this.
Yep. Most definitely.
So it's JuneThaKid, no spaces, to find his music everywhere. You
Yep.
can check out the Bandcamp to find exclusive songs and to support the artists.
Yes, sir.
This is DogStar. Bow wow.
Peace.
Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Food for the soul, I'm serving it hot. I got it ready, it's fresh out the stove. You throw out your morals, all this flop. Ain't it surprised, I know how it go. You either born this flow, you not. Won't find a nigga like me getting sold. I'm breaking the mold and scraping the pot. We ain't gon' stop till we reinforce with me and the crew. Yeah, cause it ain't been that long since the world had me on the ropes. And it ain't been that long since my world was screaming for hope. When it's all said and done, had the greatest story ever told. You did? Yeah. No prophet or none, just a man with a dream on the road. You know I'm a dog, I'm fresh out the kennel. Come hang with the stars of the pick of the litter. Came from the bottom, was out of the picture. Now we at the top and the Lord is my witness. Hop on the beat and do magic, it feel like I'm platinum. She said it's rich, give it a shivers. Real dope man when it come to the rigs. I give him withdrawals and I don't be penning. Round of applause when I walk in the building. Treat me like a star cause I give him the feeling. Feel like survivor's remorse when I'm in it. When you keep on winning, you feel like a villain. I done learned a few lessons while walking this path, you can't miss them, but this one the biggest. It's friendship and business is business. As soon as you cross them, they in with the quickest. You did. Now I was raised to be a gentleman. On the right day, I turned to a gremlin. Beat and did by the end, but my dividends, was I right or I wrong? It depends. Is it wrong to fold under turbulence? Is it ever wrong to go for the win? All I know is the flow is magnificent. 8 times the kid. I'm serving it hot. I got it ready, it's fresh out the stove. You throw out your morals, all this flop. Ain't it surprised, I know how it go. You either born this flow, you not. Won't find a nigga like me getting sold. I'm breaking the mold and scraping the pot. We ain't gon' stop till we reinforce with me and the crew. Yeah, cause it ain't been that long since the world had me on the ropes. For what? When it's all said and done, had the greatest story ever told. Ain't no prophet or none, just a man with a dream on the road. I'm just a kid from the snow, scribbling shit in his notes. Lo and behold, and been getting it shows that I wrote. My subpar shit be them goals. I guess it was written, I'm chosen. I'm hanging these shits by clotheslines. In that case, I won't do no folding. Treat every verse like a magnum opus. Nucky is fast approaching. These rappers are bad, you know it. We living in tragic moments. This shit a gamble, but every day I'm betting all on it. Flow is so dirty, make you clean the bottom of your feet if you ever walk on it. Dog on it. I used to say that success would come to me. These days I demand it. They seeing my bars cold, but might be the type where you don't need to scan it. I'ma keep working on shit until every bank account look like I'm scamming. I'm taking off with Ezzo landing. I'm floating with most can't swim the bottom. Once I reach the pinnacle, promise my I got him. And if I can help it, I hope I might get dollars and live with no problems. Continue to prosper and fuck all of those who want opposite. I'ma forever be rocking me and all of my conglomerates. Food for the soul, I'm serving it hot. I got it ready, it's fresh out the stove. You throw out your morals, all this to flop. Ain't it surprised, I know how it go. You either born with this flow, you not. Won't find a nigga like me getting sold. I'm breaking the mold and scraping the pot. We ain't gon' stop till we reinforce with me in the quotes. Yeah, cause it ain't been that long since the world had me on the ropes. And it ain't been that long since my world was screaming for hope. When it's all said and done, had the greatest story ever told. Ain't no prophet or none, just a man with a dream on the road. My got reached like Wembanyama in the paint. They jogging all in place, try and squabble with the grace. You reach and I teach, I'm Flip Saunders with the plays. Our ballin' ain't the same, cause they all fall below the ring. You did? Yeah, they all fall below the ring. It's a difference in the faith, it's what you can and what you can't. I'm trying, run it up, try and fill my plans up with this paper. Making $1 million music off these stanzas every day.
Hey, you can't be the type to do it if you ain't had influence. Looked in the mirror and realized that I'm really more than music. Everything come off the break, just like the late show. Sometimes you really gotta show me just how your great go. Plan to plant seeds, now I'm really watching the worth rise. If you blind to be blind, go ahead, dog, drown in your pride. Everything's still for the fam, we really in stride. And everybody can't go, only the freak. But one thing's for certain, my kids ain't for free though. On my yay, copping hit on a speedboat. Stupid.
You ain't got the answer, Sway. I've been doing this more than you.
St. June used to know, but now I'm elevating. Painstaking patience, try and make my next steps amazing. Dodging snakes and chasing faith with a step we taking. And staying the course when in the world where dope ain't celebrated. That diamond that shining rose from the rough. Every shot I ever got, if I could, I was showing up. I was throwing them up. They know the boy to go from the jump. Still move like the main attraction when I was opening up. I'm trying to go platinum off of this rap and my crew established. Design the fabrics we cut from, I'm living lavish. Pretty women with standards look like she came out of pageant. She like how I make the south of the app feel like Calabasas. End of the chapter, mine ain't gon' be in the rafters. Legendary status, my collaborations benefactors. My name Hawaii, they where I go, I've been a factor. From the basement to the stage, we move the masses. The kid. My got reached like Wembanyama in the paint. They jogging all in place, try and squabble with the grace. You reach and I teach, I'm Flip Saunders with the plays. Our ballin' ain't the same, cause they all fall below the ring. You did? Yeah, they all fall below the ring. It's a difference in the faith, it's what you can and what you can't. I'm trying, run it up, try and fill my plans up with this paper. Making $1 million music off these stanzas every day.
Billy's Super Sounds of the 70s continues. You just heard The World is a Ghetto by War and Billy Don't Be a Hero by Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods. And if you're the 12th caller, you'll win 2 tickets to the Monster Truck Extravaganza being held tonight at the Carson Fairgrounds, featuring Big Daddy Don Bodine's truck, the Behemoth. 12th caller wins on the station where the 70s survived.